questions in regards to Solana, because you can just drop, your questions in the comments and I'll answer them immediately, or you can come up to speak. If not, I'll just keep speaking to myself. That's not a problem, or speaking to you guys, but without any questions, that's okay. Because I'm free to answer anything here, right? Even if it's a complicated question, no problem. I'll answer them for you. Let me see. No, but we are really excited about Solana. I myself am not much of a Solana user, but I have to say that the overall Solana experience, when you go from ETH to Solana, it's you have to get used to it. But once you get used to Solana, you feel that you don't want to go back anymore, to be honest. Like compared with Ethereum, right? With Ethereum, you transfer something to somebody, you have to wait for confirmations, right? And after a while it goes through, then it takes 10-15 seconds. But on Solana, you click send and it's just bah, it's done. It's crazy how much faster Solana is. And I think the most important part here is that obviously we can offer also a much lower gas fee solution for our in-game assets, right? Which is the next phase after we release the next release in October/November, I'd like to say, because I don't want to say that it will be for sure in October. I always take a bit of a buffer here, so I'd say October, November. But Solana, you can do anything for 1 cent, under 1 cent, right? Compared with ETH, where you pay $5-6 when the gas is low, right? For a swap, it's a big difference. The good thing is that through IMX as well, we are able to utilize one of their partners' marketplaces. IMX had their own marketplace, but it's going to be discontinued, which is not a big deal, because actually for us, we already investigated that for our game assets, we will eventually build our own marketplace, right? But that is a process that takes quite a bit of time and also money. So we first will start with a third-party marketplace, and the cool thing is that actually OKX, you probably know, the centralized exchange, they have a very, very good NFT marketplace built for games as well, and they are multi-chain, right? So they support Ethereum, they support Solana, and they support as well the immutable ZK EVM chain, on which also our token is available, right? However, that one is a mint burn logic. Simply because on that chain you don't need as much as liquidity as on Solana, because there's not as much volume, right? I think that's probably why we just go for the mint and burn. We will also put liquidity on that immutable chain, right? So people can trade, and they can buy our token on the immutable chain on Solana and on Ethereum. And on top of that, you'll be able to transfer your tokens like within a couple of minutes using a on-chain bridge if you don't want to use a centralized exchange. But we are also trying to arrange a direct bridge with MEXC, right? So if you want to send your token from Ethereum to Solana, you can do that directly through MEXC. If you want to send your token from Solana to Ethereum, the same way, right? You can send your tokens to MEXC and send them basically back to Solana. The good thing about MEXC is that it's a quite high non-KYC, exchange. So you don't have to actually KYC yourself on MEXC to be able to bridge your tokens. However, we are working on a partnership with AllBridge, which is a bridge provider where you can also on-chain just, basically transfer your tokens from Ethereum to Solana in a couple of minutes' time. So, and the other way around as well, right? It's not only Ethereum to Solana, also Solana to Ethereum. If it's about market making, we will also have professional market makers assuring that the price differences won't be too large. However, when any of the chains, for example, Solana goes for a run, then we also give the market a free hand to do arbitrage, right? Not to always let our market makers do that, simply because then you'll have buy pressure on the other chain as well, right? Whenever Solana pumps, then people will start buying on ETH. Whenever ETH pumps, people will start buying on Solana, vice versa. So that's pretty bullish. Because if our market makers are going to constantly keep the price in line, then at some point, the price will be stuck, right? So we are allowing some so-called pumpage, if you know what I mean. which I think probably will happen if we launch on Solana. Like probably on the first day, you will see that Ethereum will actually be pushed with it, and that's kind of also the thing, right? The Solana raise and Solana launch will help the Ethereum side massively. First of all, because of the community will be growing, right? I already think everybody sees it now clearly. We went from 500 members to almost 700 members in just a day time. On top of that, you'll have a lot of people buying on Solana, right? Like I said, the total holders of the entire project will increase massively, right? So that's all very exciting. The first step we just have to do is to get that 2,700 Solana soft cap done, and we are confident that's possible. I think, especially considering the project and the product we are building. I think that 2,700 Solana is not that much compared to what some projects raise, which don't really have a product, right? And actually, we already have a product that works, right? I mean, anybody can play our game right now, a beta. So that's something you don't often see on a pre-sale. That actually there is already a version out there you can play and you can try out. 2,700. Some people might say it's high. In a way, yes, but on the other hand, for us, if it would be anything much lower than that, it's actually not really worth it, because the maintenance costs long term to maintain Solana, right? If it's about liquidity, if it's about market makers, it is just not feasible, right? So 2,700 is kind of our minimum requirement here. I mean, what will happen if we will not reach it? I'm honestly not really thinking about that. If it will not happen, then we will just stay on ETH, right? That's it, life. And we will deliver without Solana. Doesn't matter. But I think that the part of having double or triple the holders and double or triple the community and then releasing your game makes that explosion also much bigger, right? Especially when Immutable starts saying that, hey guys, we have meme alliance here. Meme alliance here, on our platform. Play it now. You can play to earn leaderboards, right? So I think that's really bullish. Let me see. There's no questions. No questions in the comments. Anybody can just come up to stage. Can sing a song, or you can ask a question. But if it's about the general safety around our race, I mean, you can look at our previous race, right? And we're still here. We're still building. So I think that's pretty much a confirmation that we are going the right direction with our race, and we will not, we are not using it for our own good. I mean, obviously, for the long run, we do, because we built this project also because we want to do something for ourselves in the future, but not now. We want to deliver the game first. All right, drop in OS, 0S. You want to speak? Hey, man, how are you? I don't know if I hear you. Hang on. Let me try to invite you, unless you didn't want to speak. Let me see. I always have trouble with these X spaces for some reason. There's questions on Telegram. Oh, so I have to look here, right? Curious, when will the pre-sale price be set, and what is the strategy behind it? I mean, the price in general, like right now, looking at 2,700 soft cap, that's a price of 0.07 on the Solana, right? That's the soft cap. So Solana in general, the sales will be slightly higher than Ethereum, and that is mainly because we don't want to sell it lower on Solana so that people will bridge to Ethereum and dump it, right? Because that just doesn't make any sense. We have to kind of protect the ETH side, so the price on Solana is slightly higher. Yes, 200 million total max supply. Well, I mean, yes, technically, yes. But if it's about the general liquidity, the general volume, it all stays the same, right? That's what people need to understand. It's not like this that we just simply, mint 100 million tokens on Ethereum. I mean, that would be entirely different if we would mint 100 million tokens right now on Ethereum, right? We mint 100 million tokens on a different chain which will have their own liquidity, which will have their own volume, and which will have their own demand, right? So it's an entirely different thing. It's not like we mint 100 million tokens, but we don't put any liquidity next to it, right? It's kind of solved by putting liquidity, volume, and demand. And overall, I mean, I think the Solana chain is it's probably the chain to be for the next couple of years. And probably beyond that as well, right? I think Solana in the beginning had some trouble because they were not prepared for the amount of volume. They didn't have the computing power, so to say, to manage all of it. They had some downage and so on, but that has been solved really well. They have actually built a very professional database center, of whatever you want to call that, right? And their computing power is increased massively. On top of that, a lot of very serious projects with utility have launched on Solana, right? I can give you an example, is the PayPal stablecoin, for example. That one has launched on Solana, not on Ethereum, not on Binance Smart Chain, not on Arbitrum, not on Base, but they have launched on Solana, right? So that means something, right? If tech people, they say that Solana is their choice, that means something, because PayPal is not just a small company; it's a multi-billion company. Another big project that was launched, it's called I think Aether, something like that. Also a big AI project, and this trend seems to be starting a little bit more and more, that more serious projects are moving to Solana, and that is mainly because of the reasons which I just said, right? Speed, volume, uh, and gas fees. You know, these things, they do matter, and they do especially matter for like I wouldn't say third world countries, right? But more like for the poorer countries, so to say, than let's say the West, if I can say it in that way correctly. Um, because the Ethereum seems to be turning into like for the rich, right? And I think it always has been, like, who don't care to pay $15-20 like that. But for some people, $15-20, it's a lot of money, right? And that's why also Solana is so successful, and Solana will stay successful. In the beginning, I was a little bit against Solana, simply because I was worried it was going to take all the liquidity from Ethereum, and obviously we have MMA and Elmo on Ethereum, so I thought, it's bad for us, right? But over the long run, if you see what kind of projects they have delivered, then I think that Solana is here to stay, and I think MMA will have a very, very strong presence in Solana, especially once we deliver the game, because there is simply no game like this on Solana. There is no game like this on Solana. There's no game like this on Ethereum, and honestly speaking, there's not a game like this on Immutable, even, right? Even though it's the biggest gaming platform. They have Illuvium, which is an amazing game, which has great graphics, but it's an entirely different type of game, right? It's not a shooter. They have Guild of Guardians as well, a nice looking, good game, right? But it's not a shooter. They have a couple of shooters, but they're not coming close to what we are making over here, right? There is one which is also going to launch on Immutable, which I know it is a shooter. It's a good one, actually. Um, but these projects, which, these games, type of games which we are developing here, are very, very rare in the space. And you actually see very often people saying that, wow, the Web3 gaming, kind of quality, it's really, really low, right? And I think that Meme Alliance is an exception here, and I think that we will stay an exception for some time. Simply because we actually, all the money which we raise, or whatever money even we personally made, we have invested into the project, right? We are not a greedy type of team. We are not taking any funds just for us, just like that. We actually have invested a lot in our game. Like the current state of our game, we have invested pretty much more than what we raised on Ethereum, but we were still able to have a decent liquidity pool, Maxi, a market maker for 1 year, and so on, right? So we've been investing a lot of our own money, which is fine, right? We do it with passion, and we do it because we believe that this game and this project at some point will take fire, especially after we release that beautiful game in October, November. And Solana is just a way for us to accelerate that, right? It's also marketing. You could see it as a way of marketing, because you enter a new chain where there is probably hundreds of thousands of people that solely use Solana, right? They don't use Ethereum. They just don't use it. They never use it, maybe even. I think a lot of people, they use Ethereum, but they became Solana maxis, so to say, right? And there's a lot of people that use both chains. I personally use mostly Ethereum. Um, and that is not because I like paying a lot of gas fees, but that is because on Ethereum, for some reason, I was able to make better money than on Solana. But I think that that will change, like I said, because more serious projects are coming to Solana, right? Projects in which you can invest money and, you know, actually kind of not be worried about it to leave it there for even a week, you know, or a month. That was something which I was missing in Solana in the beginning because it was a little bit of a mess, but now it seems to stabilize, and I think that we can start kind of setting a trend there, right? Of honesty, transparency, delivering quality, um, and not just another meme, right? Not just another meme, because the amount of memes of Solana, I think there is plenty of them. That's actually another reason we go to Solana, right? We have many partnerships on Ethereum, but on Solana we can make a lot of beautiful partnerships as well. I mean, look at the amount of big memes there is. We even spoke with, I personally spoke with somebody from WIF, Dog WIF Hat, which is a, I believe, 1.5 billion $1.5 billion market cap project. And if they will do a partnership with us, then, you know, obviously how many people are going to know about us, right? I mean, all the biggest influencers they support WIF, so you know, it's going to be a big thing. But they said, so do you have a game already public? And we said, no, not yet. We will have it in October, November. So that's when we will speak, right? These projects, they are more serious. They actually want you to have something, right? I'm not saying more serious, but I think that they have to protect their what do you call it? Their investors in a way a bit more, right? Because they have to be careful what they are actually partnering up with. But that's an option that we're going to see partnerships with WIF, with Ponke, with Popcat, with Bonk. You know, those are $1 billion projects, right? They're not small projects. And that's something we're going to do, especially after we have the game. I think we can easily get some really big partnerships going. We also are still talking with multiple big projects on Ethereum, right? So it's not like I said we won't partner anymore on Ethereum. It's just that you know, actually making such a character and integrating it into the game and having its own superpower and having the exact way of moving as we see the character should move, it's a lot of work, right? It's not a 2D game. It's not a low poly game. It's actually a game where every character gets special attention, right? I think the King C was owner can also confirm, because we actually finished Dakat character, which we will showcase very soon. It's a lot of work to make such a beautiful character, and it's not only about the character, it's also about the fact that you have to integrate it into the game. It has to be able to hold all the weapons properly. It has to be able to, you know, run in this way, do that. It has to be able to do its own superpower. So, you know, that's why we don't just partner up anymore so much as we did in the beginning. We just partner up with legit projects, so to say. We don't look at market cap necessarily. We just look more at history, right? We do our due diligence and so on. That's also why Dakat, for example, came on, right? Dakat doesn't have the 100 million market cap, but you know, their project has been around for a long time, and their community has been there for a long time, right? And these guys are doing something unique. They're building something. They're doing their novel and all that kind of stuff, right? That's something unique, and that's why we also partner with these kind of projects like the Cut, which I appreciate probably the most in the space, because they work really hard, and they don't deserve what they have, right? Low market cap wise. But I think over time that will be better. It's just that we are working hard with passion, I suppose, right? And you never know. Like today, Nairo on Binance was listed, and it was not the biggest Nairo. It was the CTO version, which was just 15 million market cap when Binance announced it. Right? These things happen, you know. And once we get more into a bull run, you might see crazy things. You might see Dakat suddenly turning up on Binance. You know, it happens in a bull run. Strange stuff. I think generally that. Our community deserves MMA to be definitely higher. But I think that once we have the game, I think that there is no other option than this project to be at least 10 million market cap, right? At least, and that's really. And I'm not speaking like because I'm biased. I'm speaking because I see other projects that are 10 million market cap, right? Um, I see other gaming projects that have 10 million market cap or more. So I think ours is we're definitely a 10 million market cap once we have the game, because you just don't have such a second game, and there is no such game out there which has the concept like we have, right? Like uniting meme coin communities. like we have here people on here right now from Dakat, we have people on here from Volt, right? We have people on here from multiple different communities, Elmo. They all come together here, and on Solana we will continue doing that. And I think it's really cool that one thing we might be able to implement is to do like a Solana versus Ethereum kind of competition, right? Where you basically choose a Solana meme or a Ethereum meme and you team up with other Ethereum or Solana memes and you fight against each other. I think that's really interesting. That's going to be really cool. But yeah, let me check if there's any questions. P2E plans. Well, I mean, the release has a leaderboard, so that kind of it's you could see it as P2E, but it's more play to win at this stage, right? Because you have to be maybe not necessarily have to be really good. I think you just have to play a lot, right, to be in the top and be able to earn. But on the other hand, it's a fun game, right? So you have a chance to be in top of the leaderboard, and weekly we will have. I believe it's weekly, if I'm not mistaken. We have weekly leaderboards, and every week, just the top 5 or top 10, they just win, right? They just get MMA tokens. And we will do that in the beginning through a airdrop, because people, players, and you guys in the community, when you log into the game in your profile section, you just kind of fill out your wallet address, right? And then whenever you are in the top, you just get an airdrop. We do like weekly airdrops for the winners, and that doesn't matter if you're going to be on Solana or IMX or Ethereum. You just have to fill out the right wallet for that chain, right? So it's going to be a P2E. Um, I don't want to speak too much about P2E plans for the future, because I think for now we just have to focus on what we have to deliver now, right? But there is options there, to do a P2E integrated through leveling up, right? That you have levels, and at certain levels you unlock something, either tokens, NFTs, or other kind of cool stuff, right? Yes, that is possible, and that is especially going to be possible. Have a marketplace in place where also we are able to recycle tokens, right? Meaning that you buy an asset for MMA or for Solana or Ethereum, we can recycle that back into the P2E program, right? That's kind of the idea of having revenue. It's not to put directly in your own pocket, but you need the revenue for a project to be able to keep recycling, right? Through P2E and volume and recycle, for the players, and you need revenue. So that's definitely important. Once we do have revenue, we do have a marketplace, we're definitely going to think about a P2E aspect. I think the coolest part is probably to do a first off is a level up kind of thing, right? So you start at level 1, which we already have. We already have levels actually in this version, but there's no rewards connected to it yet, right? But that's the plan, to kind of connect rewards to it, kind of like in Call of Duty, where you unlock like weapons, right, and assets. Well, and we will also be adding weapons and skins and so on, but also some kind of tokens in reward. Yes. Let me see. Start price for the thing, for the pre-sale. I mean, that depends on the Solana price, right? If Solana goes now to 100, the start price would be 0.004 something. If the Solana price goes to 200, it will be almost a million, right? So 1 cent. But at the current price, it's between 6.5 and 7. So it's about, let me think, 20% higher than what we have on ETH right now. As a US user, I'm not able to use MEXC. Yeah, so we will have an on-chain bridge, so you don't need to do KYC or anything, and anyone can use it. It's called allbridge.io. You just go there, you connect your ETH wallet, you fill out the destination address Solana, you approve, pay gas fees, and those ETH tokens get locked into the bridge and then basically unlocked on the other side, right? And you get them into your wallet. The price, if we hit the soft cap, will be 0.07 around, right? But like I said, it can really much depend on how the Solana price moves, right? I know that on the 18th there will be, I believe, the rate cut meeting. So it could happen that we have on the 19th, which is the day after. It could happen that the market goes absolutely crazy, right? And ETH can go to 3,000 and Solana can go to 150, 160. So that can happen, right? It can also happen that it goes shit, for whatever reason. You never know in this market, right? You never know with this, with the governments as well, how they how they can make their decisions, interestingly enough, against crypto often. So we will see. But actually, it's kind of like a fun timing, right? Because most people actually expect that Wednesday, when the rate cut meeting is concluded, and they communicate whatever they have to say, the market will start its bull run, because they expect it to go down. But it can be the opposite, right? I hope for the best. Obviously, I just I just think that the good thing is that we do have on the Gempad Solana sales, we have a 2% referral reward. So if you, for example, send this link, you can connect your wallet and you can generate a referral link. When this person, for example, buys 10 Solana, then you get 0.2 Solana, right? So we have a referral activated. So if you're a good chiller, if you know a lot of people that are interested in such projects, you should definitely look into that. Because when you could push through, 100 or 1,000 Solana through your referral link, I mean that's nice extra money, right, for you. So definitely look into the referral. Let me see if we have other questions here. Otherwise, I'll jump into TG quickly. No, discover DACA difference. Yeah, DACA. Yes, DACA is finished. I think some people in DACA know. I know for sure that Kingsley knows. I don't know who showed his, but the DACA is probably one of the best characters we have right now. Dakat and Bob is currently in making as well. So Dakat and Bob will be soon both ready. But Dakat looks really cool in my opinion. Let me see Telegram. Not really anything. Date game launch October, November. Trust the process. Yes, you should. Everybody should trust the process. I think it's pretty sad to buy something and then just to, normally when I buy a token, or I invest in a project which I like, and it has something which I really like either a game or whatever utility, right, where I see something unique in it, then when I'm holding that token, I would never ever kind of FUD, if you can call it that way, right? It just doesn't make much sense in my opinion. But there's always people like that, right? More success than with Elmo. I think that people, they underestimate the power of Elmo, and they still do. Oh, DJ Treff has arrived. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Let me see, there are some questions here actually. No, this is spam. Now is a chance, everyone. This is recorded, so you could listen to it as well afterwards if you're interested. But actually, not bad to have 31 people on here. To be honest, 31 people on X Space is not bad at all. If I look at some X Spaces, then we're doing pretty good. 31 people, and even two listeners who are anonymous. Who knows? Maybe it's Binance, or maybe Sony. Maybe they want to buy our game. It's just a bit hard to have no questions to answer. Sniper anti-bot. What is sniper anti-bot? There is no such thing as sniper. Well, there is sniper in pre-sale, but I mean it's a fair launch, so everybody pays the same price, right? So a sniper pays the same price as well as you do. So it's the safest to buy on the pre-sale, especially on a pre-sale like ours. I mean, our Ethereum pre-sale, we did. For some people, they say that we are slightly below the pre-sale price now on Ethereum, but people had the opportunity for 3 times to sell a 3, almost 4x. MMA did deliver the opportunity 3 times to do it 3x, almost 4x. So I mean, some people are holders and they hold, and then later they regret. But I honestly think that the market cap currently is way too low for what we are doing here. But you don't control the market, they say, right? I just see a little bit of a trend in the market where it doesn't matter what you do, what you build, as long as you don't have the right people, meaning especially, unfortunately, people which manipulate. It's very, very hard to do anything with it, right? Um, but that trend might move at some point. I think people will get tired at some point as well, right? From the projects that do pumps and dumps constantly. Why not just play a game of Meme Alliance instead? See what greatness we are doing here, right? Another thing which actually we will have on the next release is a custom server, which will solve a lot of the issues we had on beta 1. Because on beta 1 we had quite some people download it, like 300 people, 400, I believe. But the third party multiplayer server just has this kind of requirement that two people at the same time look for a game, right? And that's pretty hard, if you know what I mean. Like, we were able to play some games just by connecting at the same time on TG or Discord, saying like, who wants to play a game. But if you're a person that's not too much in the community, you just want to play, then you would like to just go in and play, right? And that's something we will solve with a custom server, which will function in a way that you can join ongoing games, that you can start a game entirely with bots, but that after some point it will get filled up with players, right, as they join. So that's going to be much better. Then you can always play, right? Okay, let me see if anybody has any questions here. Otherwise, we're gonna just leave it as it is, and average time for the game release, yes, October, November. Someone asked me if there's going to be an airdrop for those who bought on Ethereum a long time ago. No, there won't be any airdrops. Somebody bought a long time ago on Ethereum, then he would have done really well at some point, right? Now, we don't control what people do with their funds, right? We don't control people selling or buying MMA. That's something we don't control. Simple. I think that there's not many projects that control that, apart from those that snipe 90% of the supply and they control everything, right? But those projects, most of the time, they go to shit after some time because they sell, obviously. Like, I heard this story. I heard that, which actually, funny enough, was solved after some time by the community, I guess, or by the general buy pressure. But I heard once that Brett, for example, which is a really high market cap, that their team initially sniped like 85% of the supply. I mean, but they're out now, and actually Brett is doing pretty well, so that's nice to see. I think the same is with this Nairo CTO. I believe also it was started like that, and the community took it over. And I believe this is the most successful CTO so far because they actually got listed on Binance. So interesting. Let me see one more time if there's any questions. I just think that the good thing about our raise is that you kind of know that we won't be running away. I think that's already quite a strong asset in doing a pre-sale, to be honest. Especially with the pump fund nowadays kind of culture, right? I think those that buy the pre-sale, they generally buy in for at least a good 2x, at least, right? And what happens after that is up to the demand and up to us what we do with marketing. But if I look at what we did with ETH, I think on Solana it can do more than that. Because of Solana, if you on the first day get lots of volume and you are able to get trending on all the platforms of Solana, you can just shoot to 10, 20 million at once, right? For no good reason, really, for no good reason, just for having volume and being trending, right, on multiple platforms, which we will be doing, right? We will be making sure that the first couple of days there will be so much volume, there will be so much trending and hype around our chart that we will make sure that people will know about Meme Alliance, right? once we sell out the pre-sale and we launch the token, the amount of people that's going to join the TG is going to be insane. You know, I know that because I've seen tokens launch on Solana, right? And I know how fast these TGs, these communities, they can grow, like insane. If when they join and they actually find out that we're not a meme, but we're having an actual game being built around memes, you know what's going to happen. The people are not used to that on Solana, right? They're used to it to get in and to ask if Dev is still here, if this is a CTO, and that's most of the time what Solana is about. But if they actually get in and they see that there's an actual product, that is quite a thing which people won't expect, but if they do hear about it, probably are extremely bullish. And this all will flow back into Ethereum. That's the entire point, right? I do see the number of comments is growing, but I don't see any questions. When? Yes, when? Thursday is first. Let's focus on the race. Let's all try to also, as a community, it would be great if everyone could, support the race, not necessarily by selling your house and buying our race, but by spreading the news, right? If you're in any kind of Sol projects or you're in any private channels where people speak about tokens on Solana, drop it in there. We will do our marketing. We are mainly focusing on ads, meaning ads on Telegram, ads on crypto-related platforms such as DEX tools, Etherscan, SolScan, you know them, all these crypto platforms. On top of that, we have some influencers, some press release, sorry, an email campaign which includes writing to a large group of investors. And we will be doing an AMA as well, one or two. I'm just thinking where. I'm just trying to figure that out. Something where there's obviously a Solana community, but it's probably going to be more like on Telegram, Telegram related MMAs, because I think that X spaces are a little bit overrated. To be honest, I think that most X spaces are very botted, and I think that most X spaces do not actually have much effect, because on X, I just don't find it comfortable to use X, to be honest, to listen to a space. It's just not as good working as on Telegram or on wherever, right? I just don't find it comfortable. I think that's why people don't maybe use X spaces that much. Unless your name is Mario Naufal and you always have 100,000 listeners for no good reason, right? But we all know it's not real. Same goes for David Gockstein, who's doing live streams. And I was at the point looking at his live stream, and it says that he has 120,000 live watchers. I'm like, yeah, right. That's crypto, guys. It's a show, People are manipulating the numbers and so on, which is fine. But I just want you guys to know that it's not what you see is not always the truth, right? Especially not on Twitter. That's why I prefer to do AMAs in Telegram, like private groups, right, with actual real people, with investors, and actual that. And I think last pre-sale we have seen that actually works, right? So let me see if there's anything else here, and then I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. That's gonna be it. I have a lot of stuff to arrange. MMA space where different projects involved can mix together and start building bonds. Yes, we will start doing that, sir. Dakat Studios, we will definitely. We will do that. Yes, Discord, best quality for VC. Yes, that is correct. Discord is correctly the best. Problem, however, is that not everybody uses Discord, right? Like crypto is even gaming crypto is a lot Telegram. So, but mainly memes, I guess. But memes are also our target group. Gaming and memes. We have two target groups, right? We don't have just Web3 gaming target group. We have Web3 gaming and memes. But yes, Dakar Studios, we will start doing that. We might actually do one this Friday. I mean, maybe you're up to join. Actually, Friday, why not? If while we have the pre-sale running, can speak about everybody's what's going on kind of thingy, right? Dakar. I can ask Bob. They definitely would want to join. I will see what I can arrange. Maybe this Friday exactly would be a good idea. Why is it a bad thing that I'm here, DJ Trev? Well, I thought you were going to speak, but if you're sitting silently, then it's fine. Just kidding, man. You're free to do a video, a nice video though, Trev. You're free to do that. But anyway, there's no more questions here, so I'm gonna wrap it up for now. And if you have any other questions, you are free to you're free to ask them either on Telegram, or you can comment on even on any of our X tweets, because generally we always try to reply to everything we see. We even reply to FUD, so we are the kind of project that doesn't run away from FUD or blocks people or whatever. We do block people only when they are starting to be a little bit too much personal and start harassing people, so to say. As a holder, I'm perfectly fine waiting to see where this goes. And same potential. I do agree on the potential. I mean, the potential, the general concept of this project, it's insane, right? And I honestly think that if Binance can list a CTO token called Nairo, I think they honestly could also just look into MMA. Like for real, like. I understand why they list Nairo. I do understand, because why do they list them? It's because they are able to make money of them. They have community, they make volume, right? But what will Nairo do for the future of crypto, right? Not much, right? They will probably be around. They will be around. I don't believe they will ever stay as high as they probably are now, or in a couple of days they will maybe reach 1 billion. People will be FOMOing in like, whoa, it's $1 billion. But then in a couple of days will be 200 million. And then we are sitting here at 500K market cap with a freaking game, which is one of the best shooters available in crypto, right? Does it make sense? No, it doesn't. But that's how crypto works. We have applied for listings in those kind of places, but they don't reply. They don't care. They don't care what you build. Big exchanges, they don't care what you build. But that's not our problem. It doesn't mean that we will not build our game. It doesn't mean that we don't want to, even have thousands of players satisfied every day, right? We don't need Binance for that necessarily. We don't need KuCoin for that. Of course, it will help the chart. I do agree. It does help the chart temporarily, maybe long term as well. But to be focused on getting on those platforms, it's at this point it's kind of like a dream, like a dream which is kind of impossible to reach if you don't have the volume, or not even the volume, because actually Nairo had only 400K volume when they got listed, right? And 400K for MMA would be a lot, but like generally speaking, it's not a lot, right? So why did they get listed? You can ask yourself. 15 million market cap, 400K volume. Why did they get listed? I guess nobody can answer. I do know, because Binance probably was buying the bottom for a couple of weeks. That's why. And now they did it 6 or 7 times. That's why they list them. So it doesn't matter what you build. It just matters what they can make money on, right? But it doesn't matter. Let them do their way. We will do our way, and we will satisfy people playing our game, right? And I hope you guys will be all happy once we release the game. You will be satisfied. You will play a game against me. You'll play a game against any of our team members, and you're gonna have fun. Right? That's the most important. And you're not gonna get rugged, which is also quite important, I believe. And once the game picks up and there's a marketplace, there's demand, the price will go up. There is no other way. Simple. When there's demand, the price goes up. When there's a marketplace where people can buy the most amazing stuff, the price goes up, right? That's the entire concept here. So if you're holding, do hold. If you're planning to get into Solana, do get in Solana. If you're planning to invite friends, do invite friends and use the referral link on Jampet, and you will actually earn some money while referring friends. And your friends don't pay for it. Actually, it kind of is taken from our raised money, right? So yes, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I hope you all are informed about what's going to happen, and I do hope you all very much will support our race, and I do hope to see you next time. Thank you.